for India. This is the lockdown fourth phase, the ninth day. Before going to discuss our today's topic, let's know what the important events are there with the date 26th May. So in the year 1739, Indian Mughal Emperor Muhammad Shah signed treaty with Shah of Persia, that is Nadir Shah. This is one of the historical events which permanently separated Afghanistan from India. In the year 1913, Emily Cecilia Duncan became first female magistrate of Great Britain. In the year 1983, NASA launched the ESPOSAT, that is the X-ray and Observatory Space Research Agency for the European countries. And 26th of May 2014, the Narendra Modi ji sworn in as the Prime Minister, 15th Prime Minister for the India. These are about the remarkable dates in the history. Let's see what the green board is giving message to us. And the message is, the best teachers are those who show you where to look, but don't tell you what to see. Exactly true. And when once you started to walk on the path of knowledge and wisdom, then the entire world is yours. Dear learners, today in our political science, we have the topic to discuss, that is argument for democracy. I have already highlighted for. We are going to favor the democracy. If you might have remembered in our previous session, I had winded up the session by throwing question to you. In our day-to-day life, we are facing number of questions. In this question, the most important question we have to find out, is the democracy the best form of government for us to choose for? And for this, today we are going to know the answer by strongly favoring, because in our last session we strongly criticized the administrative working of the democracy as well as the ugly part of the democracy, how with the name of democracy we have failure of the working pattern. But today, as going to see the favor for the democracy, if you remember at the previous, while studying the features for democracy, we also gone through with the case study of various contemporary countries around us like Chile, China, Pakistan as well as Zimbabwe, and that Estonia, Saudi Arabia. Likewise, today we are going to take example of the China and India. In this, we are going to see how one of the problem both of the country undertook in the name of democracy and tackle it, handle it, and which country gives the lesson for the best democracy, that we are going to prove and to see today. This is the example I am going to take today as a famine for the China and India. Which are the famine and how were the critical conditions the country faced in the both of the countries that we are going to today observe. Dear learners, famine is a condition in which we get the scarcity for food and water. The intense situation for this, lot of factors may be responsible, just like war, just like the inflation, that is failure of crops, as well as the population explosion and the disbalance into the society, sometimes the failure of the government policies, and sometimes the starvation. You could see that everywhere the patchy land, no greenery around us, and no food, no water for the people. This affected into the region, state and country that responded, and that resulted into the mortality rate, that is the death rate increased in the country. So today we are going to see the examples of China and India. As all we know that we have to support this statement, a democracy is better than any other government. because it is more accountable than any other government. And for this, we are going to see the example of China and India. We know all that China is the world's largest democracy, largest populated country in the world. Whereas India, that is world's second largest country next to China, second largest populated country. Next to China. We also have seen that the China went with various dynastic rule. India have heritage of various rulers and foreign powers in India. In the year 1958 to 1961, China faced series of famines and India faced famine in year 18th century, 19th and early 20th century. This 1958 famine caused 3 crores people death in China. Whereas India, during this 18th, 19th and 20th century, number of other famine also took place. That we are going to see that 1770s Great Bengal famine, even though there was the Chalisa famine, and Dojibara famine, even 1876 to 1878, there was again the Bengal famine. 1943, the Great Bengal famine. This is remarkable because Second World War also had the similar worst experiences under the British monopoly in the India. So these were the famines what the China had, the continuous series of famine, that is 1958 to 1961 we had seen. This caused here the 3 crores of people death in China, and this famine or responsible is India, thereby 60 million people died. that India's condition was not as better as the China had. So with this, China never responded to the call of people. This was also one of the features, one of the great remarkable feature we could see, that economists say this was the effect of two countries' different government policies. And economists for India said that British drained natural resources which paralyzed Indian economy. Next to this, we could see that during the years of the 1958 to 1962, China had a rule of the PRC, that is the People's Republican Congress, into the China, but this was led by the CPC, that is the Chinese Communist Party, and his chairman is Mao Zedong. During this time, India had the re-established period of administration with democracy under the rule of Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and Vice President Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. During this time, there were number of civil war in China in the year 1958 to 1961. During this time, India also had 1962. India had the various war effects and various setbacks as 1959, that the Tibetan Buddhist monk and the religious head, that is Dalai Lama, he escaped with the Chinese war and Chinese attack, as there was a life threat for the Dalai Lama. So he requested Indian government to shelter him, to give him shelter. His shelter responsible further for the India Great War with the India in 1962. In 1960, we had the linguistic issues with the Mumbai and Gujarat, and with the public demonstration and the great disturbance to the life, law and order, there was the split of Mumbai into the two separate states, that is the Mumbai and linguistic speaking states, that is the Gujarat. A part of this, 1961, we had again the liberation from the Portuguese rule of the Goa, 1961, and we declared it as the Union Territory. 1962, from the French rulers, we have submerged in India the Puducherry. Into the French rule it was called the Puducherry, but in current India it is known as the Pondicherry. Same in 1962, that the Chinese Liberation Army, they attacked into the northeast, crossing the respectful boundary of McMahon into the Ladakh. They entered into the northeast and destroyed life, property, and and lakhs of people, soldiers, they died there. That is northeast means our current Arunachal Pradesh this time. So this was the re-establishment, re-struggling, restarting life for the India, where we see that China was also the under civil war with this time period. Even that the China never checked food scarcity of people caused death, whereas India responded the call of people and reacted in such a manner that Chinese government did not react. India checked out the food scarcity and took the measures, solutions so that the people should get the benefit of it. What then the socialists said that this is responsible because of if China too had the multi-party election, opposition and press to criticize the government, then no people in crores would have died. Whereas this is the luckiest factor for the India after the independence, a part of this all the inside struggle and rehabilitation of the issues, India did not win with such a large scale of the family. So with this two of the close observation case studies, we come to know here the three of the statements are very important that we found. China was under the rule of the People's Republic of Congress, but this Republic Congress, whosoever the party wanted to contest the election, they must have to get the membership of permission of the Chinese Communist Party, because whatever parties would come, that will never won the elections in the China. So only the Communist Party won the election, but they uttered and they declared that they are the great democracy. Under this democracy, the Communist Party and the chairman, that Mao Zedong, he had complete rule over this. We never could see this is a democratic feature of the working pattern of the democracy. Whereas India went through with the series of problems, rehabilitation after the freedom, remerging the union territories and the disturbing problems, changing the governments, but always responded to the call of people. And then this, we can proudly say that yes, we are the democratic government because we always, in the name of democracy, responded to the need and call of people. So this is one of the strongest favor for the democracy, that it is called democracy is better than any other form of government because it is more accountable to the call of people. While we discussing this Chinese administrative pattern and the problems China underwent, we never could say that a person who is a ruler, it is completely his wish and will whether to listen the demands and needs of people or not. But in a democracy, the rulers must have to listen and act according to the people. So before winding up, let's see that we have seen that the China and India's the comparative study. China is the world's largest populated country. India is the world's second largest populated country. China went with the series of dynastic rule in the China, where India had the heritage of the various rulers, and even the foreign powers also came in India and Second World War, because Second World War came to an end in 1945 and India was unfortunately snatched into the Second World War with the side of the British. So it was famine plus the acute condition of the war side effect on the India. We also have seen China was always good into the economic condition from the beginning and India into the history famous that is called as a golden bird. But till the Britishers could step on the Indian the soil. After it, India's condition was not as better as the China had. We also have seen economists say that this resulted because of the two countries' different government policies. And for India, the economists said that Indian condition was not better after the British, and the sociologists and economists said that if China would also had the multi-party election, also the opposition, also the press to criticize the government, then the crores of people would not have been died. What? Because the government would get that number of instructions, time to time warnings, and then the rulers, elected representative would have respond and work according to people. Where we had find India had never seen such a large famine after independence. So dear learner, I hope that this comparative study will take definitely to you to the near of the most favorable form to understand how democracy is. Next, some of the features we will be discussing our next session. Till that, stay home, stay healthy, be in touch of studies. Thank you very much.